pick another offlaner for mind control, like a Prophet, something like that.
Yeah, the last time they were successful with the Beastmaster was when Kuroki picked it up.
Do you prefer it that way, where they actually run a jungling beast?
It depends on the rest of their lineup.
Or the Death Prophet instead.
Almost assuredly going to get a second phase ban.
I mean,
Yeah, one of the strongest mid heroes right now. Like I mentioned, but it's the same with the beast. She influenced so much of the game. You push, you have good laning phase, you have good late game, you have good Roshan.
But what you really need is you need heroes to save her. And I'm afraid that Navi might just steal one of those and then ban
the bench
two
is
more.
the normal one, right?
Right.
Because they have the Lycan.
Like there's Venge, Oracle,
Dazzle.
and Dazzle.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why they put
Or
the DP
there's-
now, isn't it? Because they have three choices. There'll be two bans and possibly one pick against them. So they're likely to get one of those three.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is the option of also counter-initiating to save the DP. What we've seen in a lot of the matches where DP loses is because she gets gone on immediately and then bursted, and the team doesn't have anything to sort of counter that initiation.
Yep. So they actually go with the BH, so a lot more early aggression. I mean, Soneko likes the hero a lot.
I mean, they do what Navi always does. They need to find a lot of early pickups with a bounty hunter. If you don't, you're going to be very far behind.
I mean, if they don't get Queen though, it's very hard to get a lot of pickups with Dandy. Like, I think Queen is one of the heroes that Liquid are going to look to ban out in the second phase here with the BH being picked by Navi.
Queen BH is also very risky against DPF field. If you blink on top of the DP and you get siphoned both of your heroes and then another support rotates in, the Queen is in a lot of trouble.
Well, Queen has always been a very risky hero, very high risk, high reward.
We have seen Navi ban out the Tide Hunter, so the counter initiation from Liquid is not going to be there that easily, at least, unless they want to offlane the Void and jungle the Beastmaster, something like that. Would be pretty good against Lycan too. Void is a hard counter to Lycan.
Yeah, but would you want to jungle a hero when there's BH though?
There's always a big
very
question.
dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still do it. I saw a few games where they still jungle despite having a Riki. Despite having a Riki, and he got slowed down by maybe a minute of his normal time where he ganks at level 6, maybe a minute or 2 minutes. But the hero still shows up in the game. Like he still dictates the pace of the game despite being slower.
And I'm a bit afraid of the Void offlane because Lycan, if he gets a good early game, Void doesn't offer damage.
Void is not only that. Like Void is really good against Lycan in the laning phase because Lycan can't zone him out of the lane
at all.
And there's BH, so there'll be only one support in the lane.
And there's a lot of synergy with the Death Prophet here with a Void pickup.
Seems very juicy to run Beastmaster jungling this game, just to fit in the Void.
What do you think they would run safe lane then? Because usually we see Matumba run safe, melee carries.
Maybe even a safe lane Void might work. No.
But they usually don't run that.
No,
I haven't seen Liquid run that.
I don't think he's ever played safe lane Void. Oh, we got the Jerax Tusk.
Well, to save the DP, we spoke about the save being needed, and I really like that. Can save the DP up to 4 seconds.
And it's offensive as well. Yeah. This is a very staple Jerax hero where he can also gank mid, he can, set up a lot of fights.
Yeah, we talk a lot about DP plus Earth Spirit, but DP plus Tusk basically is the same thing.
It can be even better in some situations because you block them off completely and they can't move around anymore.
Yeah, but I would still have think that Earth Spirit is probably your best choice with the DP for sure. Like Tusk provides more in different situations. Yeah. Like the Sigil, like in some fights, Sigil would have actually been better than what Earth Spirit has to offer for your team.
The thing is with Earth Spirit, before level 6, Tusk needs level 6 to do that. You can get kills on those heroes. Quap, you have a silence, you have a stun, you have a slow, you have like everything you want.
That's true.
Tusk only offers like, a block and like a very, very short stun.
Not so good versus the Queen in the early game. So this is like a very, very traditional combination. Armor for the DP.
Yeah. Now I would really like the Void last pick though. It goes really, really well with the blast. Like I think now we should ban it for sure because it's really good against Quap too.
Whether they can pull it off is another thing because it's gonna be really, really greedy.
If Liquid pick Void, they need to play almost perfectly.
Because it's like all melee heroes right now. If they do like Void, they have Beastmaster jungle, Tusk plus Sven dual lane. I mean your safe lane. So, I don't know.
And then Tusk would be running mid constantly.
Yeah, it'd be greedy.
Incredibly greedy. Sven would basically be on his own against whatever Navi puts in the offlane.
Yeah. They're probably gonna go back to the mind control Beastmaster. He has had a lot of success on the hero.
Yeah, most likely. I would expect that to happen for Liquid. For NaVi, they want to amp up the aggression, so there's still the Chen and the Enchantress available for them. But they already have a BH, so maybe less likely that will happen. We might see just a Witch Doctor for Artstar, which is a staple hero.
I think what NaVi lacks right now is control. They have
Yeah.
no stuns at all, they only have slows.
They don't play Lion though. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, they do not. But like this game, they have damage for sure. Last game they had control, but lack damage. This game they have damage, but lack control. Let's see how they make up for it.
It'll be on general, and I think Artstar goes back for
for
his
the
like the bench this time.
I liked it with Lycan a lot.
They still need a lot more control. It's definitely going to come from their last pick.
I mean, what offlanes with a lot of control on the left? Like,
Void?
Tide is banned, Void is...
Void is a possibility, but it doesn't have the greatest synergy with Lycan.
Especially with Lycan, yeah.
You think they might go for like their Mirana offlane? I know NaVi likes to run Mirana offlane.
That's
But
not
it's very
much
unreliable.
control either.
That is
and then-
unreliable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what else can be reliable
I
here?
mean, there's Void.
There's Darkseer is like great for the early game, like the Iron Shell with the BH and Lycan, but there's not much control.
There's no follow-up after a vacuum wall either.
Sonic Wave it's okay, but
Yeah,
no
but-
stuns basically.
Like, how do you kill this DP if you can't stun him? He can use himself, and then Tusk can run in and snowball him. You can't stop it. You have nothing to stop it. Then they need like, if they really do not pick another stunner, they need to wait for the Quap Sheepstick,
Yeah,
and that is very late into the game.
it's very very difficult to pick here, the last one, because there's not many good heroes left for offlane that you can initiate well with.
I mean, there's a Puck, but
Yeah,
we
I
haven't
know,
seen offlane Puck in a
Offlane
while.
Puck is very, but it definitely does fit the criteria that what they need right now.
Yeah, it does.
And you might have a very good laning phase against the Sven, like because you can dodge the stun, so it might work. I don't know.
It depends on the last pick of Liquid, because one support can really bully out the Puck. Puck is not the best offlaner, unless there's a bounty helping you. But then DP gets like free reign.
Yeah, but
on the mid
NaVi is
lane.
gonna pick here first, so they're not gonna be able to wait for Liquid's
Yeah,
last pick to
exactly.
decide. They have to decide after this. So they're gonna ban out the Darkseer.
They
They're
took a lot
worried.
of time though.
Yeah, they're worried about the early aggression, like I mentioned, the Iron Shell and the BH and the Lycan. Even though there's not much disable if they have Darkseer.
I mean, if you get overrun, you don't need disable.
Yeah, you just kill. Yeah, you
lose
just
either
kill
way,
them. Yeah, you just kill them.
I
So.
really like the Darkseer ban.
But even then, you're trying to overrun a Sven Beastmaster Tusk. That's a tall task.
It is.
Yeah, but if you do very well in the early game, that's what NaVi wants, then that goes into their playstyle.
I mean, especially Bounty Hunter. If you get a fast 6 and you start snowballing, then you start snowballing for real with that hero.
So
But
what
these
other,
are
what other
nothing.
stunts?
Well, I like the Witch Doctor ban though. Witch Doctor is really good for them. They need a defensive strong support. Maybe even a Dazzle for Liquid.
One of the problems I see for Navi right now is that these aren't the easiest lanes for Bounty Hunter to gank.
They're not.
Yep.
It's very hard to gank this Sven. Death Prophet is a natural Bounty Hunter counter, and that you can just Soul Siphon him.
Yeah. Like the only hero you can really kill right now is the Beastmaster. But like
Even
another
then, Beastmaster has so much armor in the early game as well.
Yeah, well, if you have two more heroes there, like Venge, Bounty, Lycan, they're gonna kill him for sure. But is he gonna be out of position? Is he gonna be right there when he's out of position?
He's going to be Iron Talon jungling Black. Let's be real, come on.
Yeah, probably. I agree. Everybody does that.
But the last pick here definitely going to be really tough for Navi. I mean,
I actually think if Liquid pick a Dazzle, it's gonna be incredibly hard for them. Although Navi might even pick an Axe. Axe is not bad at all for them because Counter Helix is pure damage now, so he doesn't care about the Warcry of Sven anymore.
so they're
Because
just
the
going to
nature's
go
Prophet.
all out for the lanes though. I haven't seen them play Prophet recently. Yeah, not that much anymore, but it does feel like they are deciding that it's going to be all out on the early game. They're going to try to pressure, and because they banned the Witch Doctor, there are not many supports left that deal with the Treants very well in the laning phase. But Sven is actually quite good versus the Prophet Treants.
in general, yeah.
Yeah, because you just get the Quelling Blade plus the Great Creep.
What are we gonna see here? Like a Dazzle? I would like another defensive support. Oh, Timbersaw? So they do run the Jungle Beast. They
So
do
it's the
run the Jungle Beast.
Beastmaster.
And the offlane Timbersaw.
Yeah, well, if you've noticed, Navi only has one stun here. There's not a lot to lock down the Timbersaw at all.
Yeah, this is a perfect Timber game, especially against Prophet and Lycan.
Definitely creeping back in. Charlie, very quickly. Who's had the better draft?
I'm gonna go with Liquid.
I think Liquid's too greedy here. I'm going with Navi again.
I think Liquid is very greedy, but Navi can't really punish that, so I go with Liquid.
Okay, fairly definitive, I think, this time round on the panel for game number 2. Can Liquid take the clean sweep, or can Navi make a comeback? Let's head back to the commentary desk with Toby 1.
Thanks, Paul. Yes, I'm here with Merlini. We go on to game number 2, Liquid versus NaVi. The panel was saying there's a little bit of greed, but lack of punishment. What do you think, Ben?
I really liked it, Uraz Lycan. I think you can carry them this game.
Really? We'll see if it's going to be possible. Did he rock? Can he do it? Can the Lycan be enough? Can NaVi actually do the push strat? We're going to find out. We're headed into game number 2. Well, I know as far as this crowd goes, they definitely want to see NaVi put up one hell of a fight, if not being able to push it into a third game. The Team Liquid, they've come out with a draft. They weren't quite sure exactly what was going to be the last hero from Liquid, and all of a sudden we get ourselves a Timber, Ben. A Timber. How is this guy meant to function in this game?
He has a lot of armor, which is incredibly good versus all their heroes, I would say. And combine that with the Sven Warcry, he is going to be nigh unstoppable. Yeah, and he also just chops through Lycan in general. Very good versus Nature's Prophet. Sprout is not an issue at all, so Sven won't have to keep his Quelling Blade around.
Ooh, it's a trap. It is a trap. A Sentry Ward has been placed down by Team Liquid. They want to know if they can get... Okay, yeah, they just saw it with the Hawk. They know Snakeo's just around the corner. He's got to walk over that green line, however, and get himself into the range of Team Liquid. But Snako, he's looking, but he's not going. So Team Liquid will not be able to easily claim a first blood here.
So Timbersaw is pretty good if he can get off to a decent start as an offlaner. He has the problem of like levels 1 and 2, he's really weak. You'll see some Timbers pick up level 2 reactive armor at level 3, but sometimes it does not even get to that point. And he's not particularly good with the Iron Talent.
Snako got it. He stole the rune. They're going to go for the sentry straight into the stun. He's got to walk back in range of the sentry to get around the shards, but Snako will get away. He is a bounty hunter by day and a thief by night.
So 2 sentries and minus gold for Liquid.
Oh, he's even going to get a CS if he can get the ball. Not going to happen. Akura wants to come up and put an end to this.
So it was smart of Fada to buy his own regen at the start. You'll see a lot of mids ferry over to Salve just like Dendi did. But versus a bounty hunter, it's just much safer to start off with that instead of a fairy fire or whatever you're going to go otherwise.
Now, we've seen a team when they run like a jungle Beastmaster have a lot of issues with invis heroes. We can probably put the biggest reference is the DC game versus Newbie, where SA was able to really cause troubles for the Beastmaster. How are you meant to deal with this if you're a Beastmaster? When you've already committed 2 sentry wards, how do you stop Snako from being an absolute pest? Well, where's the answer? You don't. He's just stealing everything he can. That's experience going with that too. And then NaVi with this dual off lane where they commit both art style as well as general together. Obviously General can't really do that much with his Treants up against Matumberman, who went for an earlier point up in Cleave as opposed to Warcry. But with support of art style and maybe then the rotation from Snako, this lane could be quite dangerous for Team Liquid.
Sven's too tanky to kill at this point. So I actually don't necessarily agree with this. I think the General could have zoned out Jarex very easily as 2 melee heroes versus a Nature's Prophet. So you can just get early phase boost and just right-click him down.
So you prefer to actually see the VS go down a bottom lane and do something about mind control?
I think he should like stick around the area just in case they go for a kill attempt on him. But he's not doing that much to limit Matumberman's farm. Matumberman is still far ahead of the NP in terms of CS. And looks like Snako did drop an Observer Ward below that initial Sentry Ward, but it was eaten by Fada. And that especially hurts because you get a double regen against Dendi's level 2 Shadow Strike.
And we've almost had like our permanent small cam on just Snako and Korra battling inside the jungle.
Oh, he's getting rolled on top.
Yeah, Tuskar goes for Snako. Jirax brings Dust along with him. Snako will try the run, but again, the Penguin slides out, putting up the shards. And Snako, no real way to survive this unless he can last for about 2 more seconds. He goes invis, but that'll be first blood going the way of Koro. He had about 1.5 seconds left until that Dust was going to dispel.
Man, I think that's a like small melee range buff. It got buffed from like 128 to 150. That's an effect right there.
That's still a decent commitment. Like you bring the Tuskar over, you make sure you at least buy up some space so Koro is able to be a little bit left unchecked inside the jungle.
It is, but it makes up for the 2 sentry wards early, and they don't have any observer wards in the.
Oh, Snako! He just walked under the tower and went for the courier, but not only just the courier. It's the contents of the courier. Snako and Denny will back out of this one, but it's the bottle of Fada that has just been lost.
so disruptive.
He's not in the game. Oh boy.
And sooner or later, they can TP General down to the mid lane. He just used both Spirit Siphons, so they might be looking to kill him now that he doesn't have that many charges left. And Seneko back down and hunting Kuro.
I was actually wondering if this is one of these games where you want to see the Nature's Prophet go for higher levels up in TP so we can come and join the Bounty Hunter. And just come and kill Kuro inside the jungle.
He has Blightstone plus Phase. I think he could have maybe done it already. Kuro no Stout Shield on him. And if his Iron's Talon's on cooldown, he might be in a lot of trouble versus the Sprout, although NP's not level 4 yet.
Yeah. He needs to have both the Sprout, the TP and the Sprout. Seneco's coming back, keeping eyes over on Fada. But Mind Control's having the time of his life. He's 26 for 2 up against DDR. Obviously DDR is still getting some CS of his own, but this is just fueling the fires of the Timbersaw.
Yeah, I think it's just going to continue to get out of hand. You can't use the Wolves to harass at all. They'll die very easily to the pure damage.
We'll need something about that, and maybe Dendi, maybe that's where we see his first rotation as well. The major thing that Timbersaws are susceptible to is that big burst damage combo, and that's something which a Queen of Pain offers in droves.
But Mind Control can just get a TP to deal with that if he
Middle lane,
suspects
Fada initiated on. Seneko was waiting just for the right time to strike, and they kill him off. General came in just to say hello, but he really wasn't even required at the end of the day. And that's NaVi's first kill on the board, up against the mid, so no bottle. He'll be able to actually get it when he comes back to life again, because the courier respawns up in 3 seconds time. DDR close to death. But this means Fada will come back at a decent strength to the mid lane, aka having regen from bottle.
And Kuro being very efficient, he was using his board to stack up the Ancients and not forced to commit a hero to that.
Well, he's still going to lose the Sata. Seneko is here to try and steal it. Okay, maybe not. Jump back inside of the Invis. He really wants it though, but he won't get it.
Yeah, very annoying for Kuro. You'll see some Beast Sensors hit level 6 at this point, but he's only level 3.
It's kind of like the upside about having the VS on the top lane too. General can be a little bit more like open to TP off to the other lanes because Arstyle's still going to be here, still taking the farm. Or probably more importantly, the level, so you've got swap available.
Yeah, it's very low on mana at this point. Arstyle in general looking to play very aggressively behind his tower, making a move on Jerax.
Maybe he can find that kill with General here. They oh, no. There's the shards flying out. But just splits up the two NaVi players.
Oh, there's a courier coming in. Seneko very close to it.
He shows himself to Kuro, however. Arstyle's in the neighborhood. Prophet's going to TP over Kuro. He actually doesn't have access, so he can't break free of a Sprout, but General deciding not to use it, actually body blocking him up with the Triggers. Kuro will get back behind the tier 2. Interesting committal, not an easy execution there from NaVi. But Seneko is hoping. Like, he slips around the back lines, and this is the reason why Kuro is not going home. He understands that the bounty is on the prowl. They're wasting so much time just trying to avoid the paths of this bounty.
But look at Mind Control CS, 45 CS.
Yeah,
far the most in this game.
They really need to get something quick over on Dendi. I don't know if this is even like the straight Orchid game for him.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe even skip the treads for it. And Didier just moving onto the jungle. No, he can't really do that much in lane. And Timbersaw not the greatest at pushing tower. He can creep skip, but that's about all that he can pose as a threat.
Dendi has Arcane Rune plus Sonic Wave. So he's going to trigger the Arcane Rune for the moment. 150 mana cost Sonic Wave. Seneko, don't walk into the blades. But Mind Control's having a great time. Seneko will leave a nice observe ward behind. He understands that Mind Control is alone. But there's no real gank that's going to come the way of Mind Control. As we've been saying, like, they can't kill him off.
Kill on top on Artstyle.
I don't know if they can wrap around. Yep, Artstyle, there's your stun. Jirax in the neighborhood too. Snowball forward, all the stuns they require. Artstyle, well, okay, maybe not. They required more. Dendi also TP'd himself up to be involved in this. But Liquid bailed out quickly.
Yeah, Artstyle's build very good, just very defensive with the casual belt. And the Magic 6 to survive that burst damage. Surprised he didn't die, but I guess that's what happens when you set up there. He's free level 5 on him.
Fada's going to contest the top room with his Exorcism coming down. Jirax, okay, Dendi has to blink away. He wanted to wait for that 8-minute rune, so we get something as he rotates back off the top lane.
They really need the level 6 on the Beastmaster before they can really make moves. There's some plays coming out from the Tusk, but really the lockdown I think is going to be their main tool of initiation.
It's been difficult to get that level 6 over on Kuro, just because Snakeo's been such a disruptive force. But then Snakeo is now tanking up the bottom lane, also finding a little bit of farm of his own. They're trying to get his level 6 middle lane. Fada initiation comes in, but with double Spirit Sight, been so quick onto Dendy and Arstal. Snowball's coming forward, is headed over towards Dendy, but they don't go up the hill with the Snowball. They're caught on the ground, and now with the Sprout, Fada the Sonic Wave's committed and say goodbye to your Death Prophet again. 2 kills coming the way of NaVi, and both of them have been over on Fada, and this is the power of the NaVi lineup. Now they can push into the tier 1 tower, with the power of the Liquid lineup, the counter push comes in from Mind Control.
I'm not sure if that was planned by Dendy or not to make them
to sit on the edge of the cliff?
Yeah. I think the snowball might have just expired before then, as opposed to it shattering onto Queen. But still, that's the ideal scenario for him.
Back to that moment, just stand in front of the arrow, just stand in front of the arrow, stand in front of the arrow.
And the ice charge was slightly off the market, push him out instead. If they had caught him inside it, he would have definitely died.
Alright, so we're 10 minutes in with 3 kills on the board so far. No heavy pushing. Fada's first Exorcism committal did a little bit of chip damage to that tier 1 tower in mid. Thanks to the quick response from Team Liquid, the tier 1 tower of Liquid is very, very healthy.
We see an immediate line drawn towards Dityara into the Radiant jungle, and it's a schmuck. And I think Mind Control is going to be a very large issue soon.
Well, Dityara walks straight into it. He doesn't have ulti form to actually trigger the dust. I think your bounty hunter's there, but he was just around the corner of the cliff. Dityara, the roll will be committed. Support's going to come in, or will it? It's actually not coming in fast enough. Dityara puts the walls up. He's tanking up so long. And Snakeo, they'll track over on Jirax. He snowballs. He's going in deeper. He's going up the Lycan, but you've already lost your Death Prophet. They just keep battling, and now it's Liquid. They find themselves in a little bit too deep inside the Radiant base, inside the Radiant jungle.
Didn't they smoke 3 heroes? What happened to the 3rd one?
Disappeared up on the top lane. That's where the Death Prophet died.
Kuro's probably wondering what happened there.
River.
That should have been an easy kill on the Lycan, but Liquid just, I guess, a miscommunication. It was right around the 10-minute mark. Maybe Death Prophet wanted to go for the top rune instead. But that's a very costly mistake.
Liquid fortify straight away. Snakeo scouted out the triple stack of Ancients too. Snakeo, he's walking, he's right next to Jirax. The TPs are on the way, they trigger dust. Jirax realizes something's awry. Hoping to find Snakeo. The shuriken toss damages a little bit, but it will be Fada claiming a kill back.
And it looks like Mind Control might be able to take down his tower by his own will. And Bounty Hunter is level 6 at this point. Maybe looking to turn up the aggression now.
Is anyone going to TP down here? Profit even for attempted denial? Probably not the greatest idea, battling anywhere near Mind Control by yourself. So, tier 1 tower, that's the first of the game.
Sven, armlet up. Not quite in fight-ready position.
He will be once he takes that stack. But that's why the Observer Ward's also down here from NaVi. They want to know the second that stack starts. And in fact, they're already rotating up. Smoke maneuver from NaVi. They're going to go into the deeper part of the Dire jungle and then loop around. But this is the exact same time as Matubman wants to rotate off the lane.
What a play by Matubman, man. That's huge, dodging that gank. Now I think they can take the...
They actually don't see it. That Observer Ward position doesn't see this Ancient stack being done. They get it. Okay, now they... it just would have been on the edge getting a glimpse of Matubman. But it's the middle lane where potentially... Nope. Dityara gets sharded up, but there's no real follow-up. Snakeo's just shuriken tossing and being a very big nuisance with that 3-point up. So you take the stack, but you lose your tier 1 tower on top lane.
A lot of damage coming out on bottom.
Yeah, right behind that tower. There's the stun coming in from the VS. They need a little bit more follow-up with the swap. They might be able to get it. Timber Chain will drag Mind Control away. He's got 15 reactive armor stacks up at the moment. The Sonic Wave, it manages to reach out to Kuro. And now Dityara, he wants to battle up against Mind Control. But do they have enough damage? The 31 regeneration a second. A short-range Timber Saw. And maybe with the shards coming in, Dityara still going to go in for more. He'll avoid the Timber Chain off to the left. Snakeo still in the back lines. Jirax, he's got a lot of life to work with. The Crypt Swarm is a little bit off target. It doesn't hit Dityara, who'll TP out in the trees. The Courier is also going to go down to General. This is just Fada locked inside the Sprout. He'll turn for the silence because he's got the support. The Sven has come into the fight. And NaVi do not want a bar of this. They've actually smoked up Snakeo, caught by the shards there of the Tusker. The Wolves are still in the neighborhoods. They see everything that's happening with Liquid's movements.
Man, this early game has really been off for Fada. 2 chicken kills at that point. He didn't have enough mana at that point to Exorcism, which they would have easily won that fight with.
Well, they're going to come back for the tier 2 tower in bottom lane, and NaVi, they will not defend this. So Liquid, they haven't taken that tier 1 tower down the mid, but when it does go down, NaVi's jungle is going to be a very dangerous place. Even with the Bounty Hunter moving around.
On the bright side for NaVi, they did block out that ancient spawn, so Sven can't power farm that. But they don't have control of that area, and Lycan needs access.
Dendi needs a little bit more mana than what he's currently got, but he might be able to get a kill here on Kuro with the help of Seneko. Remember, this is track kills as well. General will come in. They just want to split this money 3 ways. The Wrath of Nature will ensure the kill. And that's another successful kill the Bounty's been involved in. Already up to level 8.5.
And it's pretty big that Seneko got the kill on my control before he could suicide. I don't think he saw the shuriken coming as he was timber chaining out. And he is level 11 at that point, so that was huge experience for Seneko. But NaVi, they need to regain control of their own jungle. They need the Lycan to be able to farm the area. Lycan and NP both just need access to jungles, ancients, whatever you can. And of course, they need to be able to take down the Roshan. Liquid, they can commit to it with the Exorcism, Inner Beast. Also, very huge damage coming out from Kuro.
Seneko, where are you off to? I think they understand that mind control is still moving around inside their jungle. They're going to get rid of some of this vision from Team Liquid in front of the Roche pit.
Yeah, Seneko, or DOTA has the ideal Roche build, the Vlads and the Medallion. They need some window for him to take it.
He's also got the ideal teammates when you've got VS as well as Nature's Prophet together. Roshan doesn't take you long. The issue is they still haven't taken out either of the tier 1 towers in mid or bot lane. So Liquid can bring support very quickly.
And they have the Sigil, they have the Hawk, and they have the Ice Shards to lock them in the pit in case they do go for it. So right now it's far too risky. I wouldn't even consider it if I were NaVi.
Seneko should be very careful here. He has to understand, okay, he's going to try and D-ward the other D-ward, but he didn't realize the other sentry ward was planted a little bit further north. So the Ancients will still be able to spawn up here from Team Liquid.
Maybe he can bloody block it with the wolves. They really need to limit this Sven farm because Lycan was really hampered by that Timber Saw in the
You're down a long way here, mind control. There's 4 heroes from NaVi grouping up on this. He Timber Chains up, but Artstar swaps him back in again. They need the stun, they need the control. Reactive armor charges come, but it doesn't matter. Then he commits with the Sonic Wave. Liquid were bringing in reinforcements, but they just don't arrive in time with that much burst damage. And now it's down to 5 Bloodstone charges on the Timber Saw.
And Timbersaw is a good pick in this scenario, but they haven't really been able to utilize it straight. It's not a lot of small skirmishes. Every time he's been fighting, he's been heavily outnumbered, both last fight and this fight, and he hasn't had time to pop his Bloodstone.
And when you come and you commit like this, this also shows the other weakness. The split push isn't really that great from Team Liquid. General's already up on this top lane, harassing into the tier 2 tower.
It's not that good when you're versus a Bounty Hunter. No one can be off on their own. Everyone has to play like, there could be a Bounty Hunter on me, there could be a Queen of Pain that's about to blink on me, and there's a Nature's Prophet that can definitely TP in on me.
Yep.
So it could be 0 heroes there, and then suddenly there's 3. They can't give away free track kills like that, and because of that, just force the farm very safely. They really need this mid T1 down if they want to regain control of their own Ancients. Right now, it's kind of a hotly contested territory.
Well, that's because NaVi understand that Batumberman, he needs that flash farm. And looks like Liquid are going to slip themselves inside the pit. The question is, will NaVi ready for this, or can they actually go for a trade-off? They don't really have the fastest Roshan lineup unless you're going to commit Exorcism. And that's in fact exactly what they do.
The Wolves are going over there, but if the Exorcism, there's no way they can fight. They'll scout it out, it'll be at what, 20%.
They actually have a sentry. They have a sentry a little bit further to the south.
Maybe the wolves can
okay, the cleave from Batumberman actually took out the wolves, so they can't steal it there. But General's trying to apply the pressure towards top lane, and who is that? It's going to be Fada coming on the back of his Exorcism. So tier 2 tower on the top lane will be defended. Liquid don't have to go for the trade.
They still have way better mobility on NaVi. They can fight in this window where the Exorcism is down. Aegis did go the way of Sven. Sven does have a blink, but he's not really in fight-ready condition at around half HP. Not enough sustain.
We have massive props right now to NaVi supports. As far as finding levels, it's also because NaVi made sure they got the space. But you look at the difference between it. It's 7 and 9 versus 9 and 10 for the supports. You've almost got that level 2 swap over on R-Style, and because they also gave space to Snako, and Snako has such great rotations, you're looking at that extra money coming in, that second level of track.
And R-Style looking to build that very tanky vengeful spirit, going for that Crimson Guard again, and he almost has a complete.
He's got so much money. Because they gave him the bottom lane. The second that tier 2 tower dropped, R-Style just sat there, just continuously farming.
But the Crimson Guard isn't particularly good versus Liquid. I guess it may be a little bit of armor, but Timbersaw doesn't care about the Crimson Guard. Sven hits so hard that the damage block doesn't really matter, as well as a cleave not really mattering. It doesn't block the Death Prophet Exorcism Ghost, so maybe just a little bit from the Beastmaster summons. I suppose that's what it's most effective versus. It gives her HP too.
We've got a smoke maneuver coming out from Fada as well as Jirax. At the same time, NaVi will try a little bit of a smoke maneuver of their own, and again, Kuro is probably going to be the one on the end of this. The track comes in, there's nowhere to really hide, even if he tries to make a break for the tree line, he can roar over on General, support won't get there in time, and they also mop up the Necros. So easy money coming the way here of NaVi. When you group up, there's so many, maybe there's a revenge kill for Liquid. And they do have the jump. Having that Blink Dagger over on the Sven means at least they got some way to just jump in and just pound into whatever hero they find.
I think Kuro was able to pick up his Necro 2 in time, but that's the second time he's been caught out of position and giving away 3 track kills, or 3 track gold rather. And I think he's just really desperate to get his Necro 3 so that they don't have to fear the Necro as much. They want to be strong enough to carry out generally. You want to always scout out the Lycan Wolves. And it's very good versus the Bounty Hunter, but right now they're very hesitant to move around the map. With those T1s down, there's a lot of area to cover.
The net worth board is a little bit, I don't want to say it's deceptive. We're about to hit 10k over on the Sven as far as net worth goes, with the Timber Sword just behind him. But there's a lot of other heroes from NaVi just chomping at the heels of that, to a point where NaVi actually hold a slight advantage. So about 1.2k in the net worth, just shy of 1k for the experience. Obviously, okay, mind control, easy TP up. Obviously, the Bounty Hunter does kind of swing this a little bit harder. But it's the fact that Liquid are still getting so much out of the map, even if they are 8-3 down at the moment, up against the Bounty.
I really like the early BOTs pickup from Timbersaw. We didn't see it last game from NaVi, and they had a real hard time pushing out the lanes. This game, Liquid are up against a very similar sort of thing. They have the Lycan, which can split push out lanes, the Nature's Prophet that can split push out lanes, and they need to be able to get to the point where they can 5-on-5. I believe their 5-on-5 is way stronger than NaVi's at this point, especially with the Aegis on Sven.
Who do you want to go on here? R-Style swapping out. Mind Control is actually in the top river as well. They're going to lose one, but the Wrath of Nature bounces through. Lycan down quickly. Jirax with a snowball, protected for a bit, but the Shakuran toss bouncing their way out. And now Fada, Exorcism is on the field. R-Style wants to run away from this one. He's got a stun. He can hold Fada in position, but Matalaman catching Snako on the back lines. They're able to just mop up NaVi underneath the tier 2 tower. But there's still a 3-for-2 trade-off. You got a good pickup in the top river.
Yeah, that's about even with the
tier 2 as well.
And Liquid finally get their hands out on a 5-on-5. Still, there's no TP on the Sven. They need to apply pressure at multiple points on the map. I think this T1 mid and the T1 bottom especially, so they can secure next Roche for the Lycan. The Lycan isn't able to do that much damage in fights, nor is he able to split push that much. He is keeping up very well in terms of farm.
General's going to try and slow down Matalaman, at least drag the creep wave off the tower. And he was actually waiting on bottom lane to push that one out, because that's his easier tier 1 tower to try and just do a little bit of chip damage to.
So then he had his Orchid up, very good versus Timbersaw, but it looks like Mind Control is looking to counter that immediately with a Yule's pickup, and he's very close to it. Orchid also very good versus Jirax. Jirax normally, I think, is the mech carrier, but this game there's no mech in sight for him. He's forced to play the hard 5. Look at his net worth, 1,500.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything.
Yeah, he really wants Greaves. Greaves is just excellent versus the Queen of Pain. It's also good for dispelling the track.
Greaves, though, is like a long dream away.
Yeah,
like Liquid need to get so much to then buy him space to farm. Because it's not as though he can be part of like the NaVi kind of lineup. It's like, hey, we got track, just be involved in the fight and we'll give you cash for it, just for an attendance fee.
And Kuro is not that farm to make up for his lack of farm, as opposed to the NaVi supports. They're very well balanced.
General I'm not quite certain if this is really a creep skip when he summons up that early, but the bottom lane gets pressured in. They attack into the tier 1 tower. Fortification is not available for Liquid, so they know they're going to lose this one. The ping actually comes from Liquid to the tier 2 towers, but Snako is already there waiting. So Matumbaman TP's in, Vada is here, they can just track up on Matumbaman, and they keep track of what's going on. Even the mid tier 1 tower is being attacked by just the catapult wave that's there. And then, there it is, General, creep skipping out the top. So, no matter where Liquid look, no matter where Liquid want to fight, it just seems like NaVi is just in a better position. General kind of needs to get himself out of here, however, because Mind Control is on the run. And now starts his TP. Well, a stun would be useful, but is not available.
He'll have his heals very soon. I think it's already coming out on Chicken, so that play won't be possible, and NATUS probably has to be very careful about that.
Snako has a small little opportunity here. You'll see Matumbaman just walking over the river. And Lycan, yeah, he's like, okay, he's going to cross the river. You come into our territory, R-style, swapping his teammate in so he can actually get close enough for the swamp. The Yule Scepter, however, now has arrived. Durax in close, and be careful of Mind Control. He's got a big spin with the chain out. They're doing terrible damage to NaVi at the moment. Even the Raw is keeping the Bounty Hunter out of this play. Maybe, no, he's actually, yeah, he will go down. He'll give the gem over, and NaVi lose 4. A triple kill for Vada. Mind Control with a perfect spin, and Vada having all the time in the world after that Yule Scepter went off. Just let the Exorcism do its work.
That was huge plays by Vada. He stopped the Lycan from finishing off the Sven, and he also silenced Denny so that Denny couldn't get a Sonic Wave off and burst down that very low HP Sven, allowing Sven to get off his armlet again and almost walking away to safety.
Well, Team Liquid, they don't have the greatest push lineup now with Exorcism going down, and the Necros have also timed out. But they still take a great fight at a tier 2 tower to follow it up, and the gem steal.
It was a nice try going to Sven, but Sven is absurdly farmed at this point. Look at his armor. They don't have too many ways to deal with his armor.
Oh. I was gonna say, let's see that again. General and Snako. Like General, like the second that fight ended, he's just like, okay, that's it. We go top. We push it in. Mind Control is able to counter that one up pretty quickly. Bounty is able to get a little bit of vision here, but Snako knows he can't do anything. He needs more help.
All these heroes feel safe to farm though now. Matumbaman and Timbersaw especially. Matumbaman with a Warcry can just survive so long. They don't have that much magic damage output. Maybe needing a Veil at some point. They have the Maelstrom for the Nature's Prophet and a little bit from Dendi.
Roshan ping. Both teams should be aware in just a bit that Roshan's alive. Yeah, the Hawk from Kuro is now in range. So the Wolves from NaVi scouted it out. Next point of contest. The only way to get around this for NaVi is probably adding enough. Oh, hello. Cancel the TP of Mind Control. Cheeky from Snako with his Blink Dagger. Making it so Mind Control can't just push out the bottom lane, which is probably his desire as well.
Kuro looking for an easy kill. It is a little bit awkward that he's controlling his Boar and his Hawk at the same time, because that makes it very obvious that there's usually a hero there. Most of the time it's microed separately.
Is Liquid confident enough they can go inside the pit? Or do they even need to? Because it kind of gives an opportunity for NaVi to potentially counter into them.
I think they can. Their team fight is way stronger. Exorcism around the pit, as long as Death Prophet stays alive for 6-7 seconds, gets a couple of siphons off, or Sven's in the front line. I don't think NaVi can take a fight to them. They're pretty close in terms of net worth, but they have just absurd amounts of armor on Liquid.
Mind Control can TP himself down now if he wishes to. There's no Bounty Hunter to mess with him this time around. And Liquid, they are 3-man smoke. The jump forward, actually looking for an illusion only. So Matumbaman's already committed his Stormbolt. And Snako gets the track over on Durax. So they start getting some vision towards Roshan. Same with the Lycan Wolves. They get scouted out other ways. Now Vada finding Arnstyle, starting with that Spirit Siphon. Support Matumbaman, blinks himself forward. And NaVi, yep, they understand. Arnstyle is dead. Accept the fact and move on.
And both teams addressing the T3 issue at the top. Mind Control and the Nature's Prophet just at a standoff in the top lane. Both heroes can get to that fight, so one hero just waiting for the other.
And here it is from Liquid. They don't even need to commit Exorcism because there's no pressure coming in from NaVi, and they have enough damage that they will work through Roshan. The trade-off is the tier 1 tower mid lane, which Denny was able to claim. And a little bit of chip damage coming out from General towards that top tier 3 tower. But Roshan now belongs to Liquid. Question is, what do they now do with the Aegis of the Immortal?
try and look for team fights, and NaVi should try and dodge and split push. I don't know how Lycan's going to get involved in these fights. At some point, he's going to need a
This
lot
is
of
one
more
way.
armor.
Koro finds Didira. Didira walking into his hands with a Necro Bork. He can't actually have enough mana to get the ultimate off. So you can say goodbye to Lycan. He bought up his Assault Cuirass recipe, plus the chainmail before death. So there's no money on the Lycan for a buyback. This is a 52-second window. He should be okay because of the pressure being applied through top lane. But Liquid may not care. They're coming in for that tier 3 tower. There's no fortification available from NaVi, and there is available from Liquid. And with Exorcism not being able to use for Roshan, Liquid are just going to melt through this mid-racks.
Yeah, there's God Strength, there's Inner Beast, there's Exorcism. How do you compete with this split push? T3's not
back.
even down on the top.
They're coming back to defend the top lane as well. General, he's going to get caught out, so he'll die up there. Meanwhile, Fada and Matomaman, they do all the work on the bottom. The stun from Artstyle. Matomaman will return it with his own Stormbolt. You've taken out 2 melee sets of racks. Now, can they get out of this one scot-free? Swaps available from Artstyle with that level 2, but he's just not in range. The ball from the Beastmaster slowing him up so he cannot reach Fada. And then Fada turns for the double silence. Have they got any kind of stun, any kind of disable? No, they don't. The 2 people he silenced are the 2 people with the stuns.
Outplayed by Fada. And I think earlier the panel was talking about, oh, there's a couple heroes that you can, or carries that you can first pick, and a lot of teams have been experimenting with the first pick Lycan, but Liquid seem to have developed the perfect strategy to deal with the Lycan. Lycan can't hit anyone. He can try it on Timbersaw, he has tons of armor. Just pops Warcry.
Okay, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to. Prophet's going to TP over as well. They commit the drum charges with a Sprout. Jirax will be caught. The Orchid's there, so he can't snowball himself out of this one. Even with the extra track on Matumberman, they could have thought about going a little bit harder, but there's no way for NaVi to know what is behind.
He was dirt poor before with just brown boots and some support items. Now he has Blink and Arcane. And Mind Control with a Sight.
Starts moving up. That Hawk. Koro gets a glimpse of Snako. Snako quickly blinks up, and now they actually find the Timbersaw. You can track him up. Prophet, he's starting his TP over as well. So they think about going a Mind Control, but that new side device going to go to work. Not to mention the roar from Koro catching out the back lines. Dendy's gone. They lost the Queen of Pain. They lost their magical burst damage. There's no way they can kill Mind Control. And with the rest of the heroes coming over from Liquid, Mataman looking to cleave through. The bounty on may end at 1 streak, but it's just the buyback. They just had the money. They just had the manpower. Team Liquid will just keep walking all over NaVi. Catching now inside the river, spin him round, drop him down. Didira is gone, and the last player being chased is Matumberman versus Artstyle up on the top lane. Where's that armor toggle? There's still the Aegis, the Immortal, but Artstyle's got no chance. 5-hero wipe in favor of Team Liquid. You did buy back once, and you did lose that Beastmaster, but still, now you go for the mid lane, and it looks like they can just go for, well, they can't go for the top lane because the tier 2 tower's still there, so they just go for the GG. Isolate Artstyle, he's hexed up, Kuro's on top of him. This could be it for NaVi. They're losing too many players. Snako can come back into the fight, but the rest of Liquid are on their way. The double buyback from Dendy as well as Snako. But the tier 4 towers are under siege. Dendy does have Sonic Wave up, but he doesn't have his BKB for another 15 seconds. He doesn't really even have an opening.
This game quickly spiraled out of control. NaVi, no solution to the mass team fight coming out from Liquid.
They are really almost ending this game. 8 seconds until the Lycan is alive. 10 overall on the Prophet. If they lose any more heroes, just like that, there it is. Quick picks and GG. NaVi are eliminated, and Team Liquid will advance themselves through into the next round where they get to battle up against FNATIC.
Still a pretty good run from NaVi, but Liquid showing why they're many people's picks for top 1 in this tournament.
Yeah, they are such an amazing team, such solid play as well. NaVi tried to throw them off a little bit with that Lycan first pickup. You could definitely see the strength of their push, but it never really happened. But win or lose, this crowd still gives a lot of respect to NaVi.
Liquid still with a very shaky early game, I would say. Beastmaster struggled a lot, gave away a few picks, Fada especially, but they really pulled through in that 5-man team fight. Few teams can match them in that aspect.
Yeah, it's still a beautiful, beautiful display. NaVi, they did well to get this far, 4-0 in the group stage. Everyone was like, hey, are they back? But then they got a really tough draw. You get OG, and then you get Liquid. That's a rough road for anybody. OG are looking amazing. Liquid were pinned to be the #1 until they got knocked down by MVP, and now